Hey guys, Brian Savage here with you another video today. I want to talk to you a little bit about what I've been seeing on a lot of people's videos, and that is your top 10 albums. Now, this has been a top 10 for different things. Some people has put it as their most influential as a player. Some has said their top 10 is in favorite to listen to, or various other reasons. Top 10 albums, favorite guitarists. This is going to be my top 10, and this is going to be my top 10 by this preface. This is the albums that I put in, listen to, beginning to end, that inspire me, that always feel like home, remind me of a certain place and time, those type of things. Now, it's a pretty eclectic list, and I want to challenge all of you that are watching, make a video of your top 10, or list your top 10 in the comments below, because I think it's really interesting to know these things. And I'd rather you made the video, that way I can tell why you said what you said. So, these are going to be in no particular order as far as ranking them 1 through 10, except for my number 1. Now, we'll do it last. First off, let's start out with I was born in the mid-70s. I love hair bands, and as far as hair bands go, this was the album that everybody had, that everybody listened to, and that is Poison. Open Up and Say Ah. That was a great album. I still love to listen to it. It's the quintessential, to me, hair band stuff of the pop hair band stuff of the early 90s, late 80s, in that era. Also, here's another one, and this one's going to be something way outside of probably everything else on the list, and that is Diamond Rio. And that could be any of their first 3 albums, Love a Little Stronger, the self-titled album, I forget the name of the other one. Anyway, and the reason I really like those albums, and I can listen to them all, is one, I love the guitar player, and I'm sorry I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he is an absolute phenomenal picker, phenomenal chicken picker. Love to hear his riffs, love to hear his music, and the harmonies. Those 3 albums, as I was developing my voice in my high school years, they taught me a lot of harmony. Finding the different parts, learning the different parts. Had a pretty, a lot bigger range at the time than what I do now. And my friends and I that like to sing would get together and learn these parts, and it taught me a lot about harmonies in different keys and different places. So that would be another one on my list. Zeppelin 4. Of course, Zeppelin didn't make a bad album, but my favorite of them all is Zeppelin 4, and as far as if I had my choice, I could only get one Zeppelin album, that would be it. So we're only going to put one band on, one album from each band on the list. A lot like Zeppelin, Metallica. They made my list. I'm only going to use one album, and it's going to be And Justice for All. That's my favorite Metallica album, although I can't say they didn't make a bad album, because I can't say that Load and Reload's the kind of album I would listen to from beginning to end on a regular basis and not skip a few, if not a lot. But outside of those 2 now, well, and maybe some of Saint Anger. It was kind of overproduced, I thought. But regardless, I'm sure that's going to get a lot of haters going after me there. But I love Metallica. And Justice is my favorite. Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction. God, I love it. It's, to me, Slash and those riffs and that guitar in that was just... It just, to me, is what a Les Paul into a Marshall should sound like. And if I have my Les Paul into a Marshall, that just seems to be the sound that I want to mix it to. Great stuff. Black Sabbath. Now, out of Black Sabbath, I gotta say my favorite tab's Paranoid. Wonderful album. I remember jamming to it many, many times, and that definitely makes my top 10 list. Pantera, again, lots of great albums. My favorite, Vulgar Display of Power. In fact, a little side story, both of my children, both of their first songs they ever tried to sing along with at a very, very young age, as they're learning to speak. Both of them was Walk. I don't know why. I mean, I do listen to the album quite a bit, and of course, they love to thrash to it and this and that. And that was the first song that both of them tried to sing. So, go figure. I hope I haven't scarred them. Then again, I'm glad I turned them on to the real stuff. Now, saying real stuff. Some people isn't going to call this one real stuff and is not going to put this in. I'll probably be the only person in the world, maybe, that would put this album in their top 10. But again, I want to say this is the top 10 of the albums. If I could only have 10 albums to listen to from beginning to end, over and over again, and that's all I could have, this one would be on it for me. And that is Third Eye Blind's self-titled album. I believe it was their freshman album. And the reason is that was a period in time in my life that was totally different than any other time in my life when that album came out. I enjoyed the album. I enjoyed the quick lyrics. I enjoyed a lot of that between high school, college, and real life type music, I guess you could call it. But hey, that would be in my top 10. The most current album, and this is going to bring us up to 9 total albums, and this is the newest one out of all of them, is Stain's Dysfunction. And the reason I like Dysfunction, that is actually their second album, and their first album, I like it a lot, but you can tell that it was something they kind of done on their own. They really didn't have a major label, I don't believe, behind them at the time. Tormented is the name of that one. And it's good, and I really like it, but I think the mix is muddy where it's so dark and, you know, heavy drop-tuned riffs and stuff. And then when they come out with Dysfunction, in fact, this Mud Shovel, which was probably their biggest hit off of Dysfunction, probably, or their breakout hit, I should say, that was actually recorded on Tormented. Much different production values and recording process, and it really shows. But Dysfunction's the one I like, and I've purchased it many times in disc form for you lose them, you break them, you scratch them, this and that. And that brings me to my number 1. And I got to tell you guys, if I could only have one off of this entire list, if I could only have one album in the entire world, this is going to be the shocker. Drum roll. It's going to blow you away. It's Candlebox, and it's their self-titled CD, Candlebox. To me, that is the greatest rock and roll CD ever. Now, I know that everybody's going to argue with that and say, how can you say that when they've only sold X amount of albums? And most people have never even heard it or don't even know about it or this or that. Guys, it's horses for courses. And I wouldn't say you're wrong if you thought Britney Spears' first album was your favorite album. Music is what moves you. Music is what motivates you. Music is what sticks you in a place and time in your life and makes you want to be something better or wants to be something more or be nostalgic. It makes you want to be. Music is everything. And I would never say, because I personally don't like something, that it's wrong for you. So be kind in your comments as you disagree with my list, or hell, maybe you agree with it. But I gotta say that that is my list. Now that I've put my list out, I want to give some honorable mentions. And this is going to be some really eclectic stuff. And then some stuff that's going to hit everybody's list, I would imagine. Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, AC/DC, Back in Black, Van Halen, ZZ Top, Eliminator, Def Leppard, Silverchair, Frog Stomp, Snoop Dogg, Doggy Style, Beastie Boys, License to Ill, and Counting Crows, August and Everything After. Another little crazy one I'm going to sneak in there for you. It's a lot like that Third Eye Blind stuff for me. Those, again, are all albums I, for various reasons, can throw in and love them. But again, this was hard to narrow down to 10. And again, those 10 are Poison, Open Up and Say Ah, Diamond Rio, any of the first 3, Zeppelin 4, Paranoid Black Sabbath, Appetite for Destruction, Guns N' Roses, Metallica and Justice for All, Third Eye Blind, self-titled CD, Stains Dysfunction, Pantera, Vulgar Display of Power, and again, I wish that it had changed because the lead singer left, he came back. I've listened to some of the other stuff and it's good, but it just doesn't, in my opinion, it doesn't compare to that self-titled CD of Candlebox. If you haven't heard it from beginning to end, do yourself a favor. Take a listen to it. You might love it. You might think it's crap. But anyway, guys, that's my list. Let me see yours. Let me hear yours. Put me a link in the comments to the video that you make, or write in the comments your top 10 list. And again, share the music, share the love. See ya.